Hello, everybody. Bernice Lee here. I am so excited to go on for, I think, my first Instagram Live. And today I am here to introduce to you one of my new friends, Loubna Ammer. And she's she's Syrian, but now she's living in Germany. She's a master NLP practitioner, and we're just going to have a conversation today. I'm going to ask her some questions about her work, what she does, how she can help people like you. Obviously, this is a live, so this is interactive. If you have any questions for her, please make sure to leave them in the chat below. All right? So welcome, Loubna.
Hi. Hi, Bernice. I just sent you a request to join you.
Oh, all right. So.
Okay. Hello. Okay, I think this is happening because we are on Zoom as well at the same time.
How's this?
Better. Much better.
Okay.
What did you do?
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm hoping that more of my followers will be able to join us today and learn about some of the amazing work that you are doing. So, welcome. Let's just dive right into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do. Tell us your story.
Oh, thank you so much, Bernice. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be the first person to be on the show with you on the Instagram Live. I'm so honored to be with you in this experience. My name is Loubna Ammer. I'm Syrian, but right now I live in Germany since 7 years, since 2015. But before that, I used to be in the United Arab Emirates. I had my 2 kids there. I had my master's degree in translation there. So yeah, but right now I am in Germany. I'm humbled to be the first Arab woman to receive the Greatness Award from Greatness University in London in 2020. Basically because my business concept at the time was to, and still to a certain extent, was to bring businesses from Europe to the Gulf region, like the Emirates, Bahrain, Qatar, etc. So the people who gave me the award, they thought that this is a great business concept, and then I became the first Arab woman to receive it. In 2019, that was the start of my, let me say, spiritual journey, so to speak. So I had to reinvent myself because I found myself here in Germany having to begin everything from zero. Imagine that. I had my whole life before in the United Arab Emirates, and like I said, I had a full life there, and then I came here on the backdrop of the war in Syria. I came here as a refugee, and for several years I had the feeling that I have lost everything that I have built before. Not my academic degree was not beneficial to me because it was English Arabic, and here in Germany it's, of course, it's the German language. I'm new here, I have no connections. So in 2019, yes, that was the turning point for me. And then I started reinventing myself. And let me tell you, Bernice, it all happened when I changed my mindset, when I stopped resisting the reality, when I thought to myself, okay, I'm here, I'm in Germany right now, and it's such a beautiful country, and the people here are really trying to help newcomers. So why am I resisting this transition in my life? I should maybe just try to embrace it. And then I realized so many people out there, they want to come to Germany because it's such an amazing country. It's one of the best countries in the world, not only economically, but also in terms of civilization and the sense of humanity that is here. And I'm here. Let me do something with that. And then I embraced it, and it embraced me back.
Yeah.
You see, and when I made this shift, the magic started to happen. And then with Corona in 2020, which was really a blessing in disguise. A blessing in disguise. Seemingly everything stopped, but in reality, everything began to flourish. So many businesses, so many things became now available to people online. So I jumped at this opportunity. I invested heavily in myself. I became a happiness and positivity consultant and specialist, and also I had the international board in that. And then I went on and became a transformational NLP master practitioner, and I'm continuing with that, of course, because this is such a fascinating science.
Right, right. What an amazing story. I mean, I'm sure you could spend hours talking about the journey you've been on and the challenges you've overcome. I imagine that is very useful in the work that you do in helping other people overcome their challenges.
Thank you. Indeed, indeed, because when you have been there, it's different than when you just learn something from the books. So I have the practical experience. I have been there. You know, when you go to a coach, you are a coach yourself, right? So when you give advice to people from your own experience or from the experience of your clients, it's different. It has like an additional value to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for those of us who are in helping professions who have gone through those challenges, you know, for you going through war, being a refugee, relocating, being a businesswoman, doing at least two different types of businesses. I mean, bringing that richness of experience brings a lot of weight to the help that you provide to people. Now, I'm really curious because I'm really curious about the work that you do, because as a coach, my methodology is based in neuroscience. So I'm really curious to know what NLP is. And I think a lot of my followers would want to know what is neuro-linguistic programming. Can you tell us more?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. You know, I'm very interested about what you are doing, but I'm hoping that we will have next week the chance to explore that further. But I think NLP and what you are doing, there are some similarities in there. It's amazing how how the words are helping the brain to have new neuron sort of, or so to speak. You see, I don't want to get so scientific here, but this is the concept. But transformational NLP is different than conventional NLP, because with transformational NLP, we are dealing with the human experience. We are not suggesting solutions to a problem. Rather, we are digging in using questions and phrases that are carefully designed to talk to the brain, to help us with providing the memories or the emotions that are creating the experience, right? So like, for example, somebody who has been suffering from a childhood trauma. Okay, so we have a set of questions first that will help them identify what is it that they really would like to have. So a client would come here, they want something, but they end up really uncovering that they really want something else. Like, for example, a client might come because they want to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is a real example from real life. They want to lose weight by reprogramming their body. Okay, so
Sure.
that was on the surface. But when we dig deep down, you find out that their extra weight is their body's way of communicating to them that they are suffering from something else that has been accompanying them from childhood. In this case, exactly, the client, they are suffering from the extra weight, and they are unable to lose it, but they were really suffering from the sense of being done wrong, or they have certain rights taken from them, or that life has been unfair to them.
Right.
Yeah, so these are all messages from the body. Or for example, someone would like to come here and they would like to get rid of their knee problems. They have knee pain, right? And it's really amazing for me and for them as well to uncover what they really wanted was to heal a childhood memory of the parents fighting all the time and not having balance in their life. So the knee problem was a message from the body that your life is not balanced.
Right. This is really interesting. What I'm hearing is this mind-body connection, and also how the body holds on to, I don't know, like memories or emotional pain, or that emotional pain is manifested, physically, maybe years later. That's fascinating.
It is indeed fascinating in every way. I like to think of the body as a living USB device. Everything that happens since you were in the womb, and sometimes for some people from lives before, believe it or not, is recorded in the body. Everything is recorded. People don't believe it until they come here and they try the techniques that will take them back in years. I once had a client, she was like over 60 years old. Okay, and I was applying a technique that will allow her to search her history, her personal history, okay, using the body by tapping on a certain, by tapping like this. Your body knows. Your body knows everything, and everything is registered already. So I remember at the beginning of the session, so she was walking back in the timeline and doing the TD search technique, okay? And I still remember her saying, oh, I don't think I will be able to remember what happened to me at that early age when I was 9 or 8 years old. But she ended up remembering things from when she was 2 years old.
Wow.
She was amazing. When she was 2 years old, her dad came in angry one day and he tore her favorite toy apart. And she was very sad. And this is when the programming is happening. The programming is happening the programming happens in 2 stages. The first stage is from conception to the first 2 or 3 years old. And here the child is deciding everything about their entitlement to existence, for example, about entitlement to having a certain financial situation or love or being in this family or not. And the next stage of programming is from the ages 4 to 7 years old. Of course, throughout life comes other things that will create more programming, but the basic ones that are running in the back unconsciously are in these 2 stages. So in this case, for this client, and I think we can use this example here. She was really sad. So when a child is in a situation when in a certain situation and it is emotionally charged, okay, like fear or sadness, right? And then a code is being created. The child is deciding something for themselves, and this turns into a programming. This programming will be activated later in life. And I find out that the programming is activated also in stages, right? It's not like, okay, they are 18 and now they have activated all of their programming. No, it does not work this way. sometimes a programming is being activated later in life, when they are in their late 30s or in their late 40s. And you can see around, actually, if you think about this, you see people have been achieving certain level of success, they have been receiving money, they are good in relationships, but then they come to a certain stage in life and nothing is happening.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I
hard to
definitely
earn
see that.
money.
And then there's panic, right? At that
Yeah,
time, there's
and they
panic
are,
or like what's going on? Why are things not moving forward in their lives?
exactly, and that is because another programming kicked in right now. And come to think about it, we are repetitive creatures. We tend to repeat patterns from our parents and our ancestors even unconsciously.
Mhm.
And by asking clients, I found out that they at around this stage, late 30s or 40s, right? They are repeating patterns from their parents when their parents or grandparents were in their 40s or late 30s. Just for example,
Incredible.
yes, absolutely. And this is because what happened to the parents or to the ancestors was not resolved in the human subconscious mind.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So we tend to repeat until we find a solution. And that is why I encourage people, when you notice that you have been blocked from your goals, when you notice that, oh, I'm doing everything, I'm buying courses, I'm hiring coaches, I'm doing things, but it's not working for me. This
Mm-hmm.
is a strong indication that you need a professional help. You need a professional help to uncover your unconscious blocks. And this is exactly what we do in transformational NLP. We are using these tools and techniques to transform people's life by uncovering the unconscious programming and then updating it. Because, Bernice, believe it or not, our human mind is not designed to update itself. Your phone can update itself, but our mind is not designed to update itself.
Now that really resonates for me because when you look at the brain science, our brains have evolved to hardwire things as quickly as possible, right? Like it hardwires routines, and we have default responses, which is what kind of similar to what you are saying, because it's purely more energy efficient. If we had to use our cognitive resources to think about every day how we're going to drive to work, and how we're going to open the door, and how we're going to interact with certain people in a certain way, we would be exhausted. And so, I can see a lot of similarity between, what I've learned and what you are saying here. We are creatures of habit.
Exactly.
And it takes, from my point of view, it takes intentional conscious effort to rewire the brain. And what I'm hearing from you is you're able to do that and address those patterns of thinking that are happening kind of in the background, that are subconscious.
It's really fascinating, Bernice. Believe me, there are things, of course, that you can do on your own. Of course, you can use, for example, affirmations, you can use subliminals. But what I learned, and I find to be so true, unless you talk to your greater brain right here, that is inclined of keeping you alive and safe, you
Sure.
will you will not be able to do it. And I'm telling you this from personal experience. For 2 years, I have been writing affirmations. And, I laugh now when somebody is writing posts about train your subconscious mind. You need to write for 14 days, you need to write certain affirmations 21 times for
Mm-hmm.
14 days, and this will reprogram your subconscious mind. No, because maybe what you are writing does not resonate with your subconscious, with your greater brain here. I mean, let's
Right.
say, for example, if I write, I would like to buy a new home. But as long as my greater brain perceives buying a new home as unsafe, it will never happen.
Mm. Sure.
It will never happen, because maybe in my programming, what if I have to pay a lot of money as taxes for the new home? I don't have enough money to pay for the taxes. What
Sure.
if I live in my own home and somebody breaks in and they rob me or kill me or assault me,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? What if the new home that I'm going to buy is far, far away from my parents? I will not be able to see them. I will be all
Sure.
alone.
Yeah.
What if my neighbors are evil and mad? So you see, this is just an example. So unless you are aware of your safety patterns,
Yeah. Yeah.
what is safe for you,
Yeah.
affirmations will not work.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think I see something very similar in my clients, right? It's that process of recognizing the thoughts that are happening in your head, and bringing them to light, bringing them to awareness, and then asking yourself, like, is that really true? Is that thought really true? Or is it just a thought? And as human beings, we allow, it's so easy for us to allow those thoughts to I mean, those thoughts are governing our emotions, aren't they? I mean, you have those thoughts and then it generates this feeling of, fear or anxiety or resistance. And so it stops you from doing something, right? Which would be, I want to buy that dream house. Right? Yeah, fascinating. I'm really curious to know, what are some common misconceptions about NLP that you've come across from people?
Okay, thank you. Great question. Um, Unfortunately, NLP has been commercialized so much. Its value as a tool to help you overcome your unconscious blocks has been unfortunately disregarded. Okay, if you look into any course right now, you can become an NLP practitioner in one weekend. Some programs, okay, you need 5 weekends. And then you become an NLP practitioner, but you use the tools to manipulate clients, to convince them to buy from you, to
Uh,
you know, to handle your partner,
got it.
right?
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate that the therapeutic value, and please note here that in Germany we are not allowed to use therapeutic with NLP because it's
Mm-hmm.
not regarded as a kind of therapy. Okay, but it really helps if somebody is in great pain because of a childhood trauma. You know,
Mm-hmm.
in a transformational NLP, we have something that is called the contract of suffering. When a child grows up, for instance, when a child grows up in a family where the parents or one of them is suffering, look, I'm going to give you this presupposition. It's amazing. You will love this. Every child comes to the world with so much love. They think they are going to heal the world with their love.
Mm.
But they start to, and you can see that if you are unhappy or sad or crying in the corner, and there is a little child, 1 year old, maybe nine months, 1 year old, for example, they will crawl to you and they will hug you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, this is so intrinsic to them, right? So every baby come to the world with so much love. They think they are going to cure the world with the love, but they notice that it's not working. It's not working. So they decide to take all the pain from their parents and take it on themselves.
Mm.
And they notice that this is not also working, because if I cut my finger, you cannot have the pain from me. I will still have my pain.
Yeah.
Right? And then they notice, okay, if I cannot take it from you, then I will be with you in the pain. And that is why we are repetitive creatures, because when we were so young, we had this contract, we had this agreement that we are going to be in the same pain as our parents. That is why in families where there are divorces, in the family line, the children when they grow up, they will not have healthy relationships, and they will tend to divorce or separate from their partners as well. So in transformational NLP, we have the tools and the techniques to take you back to the situation where this happened, and to update your programming. So when you update it, now you know you do not have to repeat patterns from the past. This stops right here. You do not need to pass it to your kids even. You see, if we do not heal, that is why I always encourage, please work on your wounds. Try to heal, try to uncover, because you will pass it on to the next generation.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. I mean, sometimes I have people coming to me asking for coaching, and I become aware that, you know, as a coach, I work I work with people to help achieve the goals that they want to achieve, but it sometimes comes to my attention that they are carrying a lot of pain and burden from the past, and I always tell them, sort that out first. You know, like do that deep work before, you know, so that it doesn't have so much of a negative impact on you today. And then in doing that work and clearing out that trauma and pain, then it's going to be easier for you to go off and create that future that you want.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is the best advice you could ever give any person, because really they are paying you, they are hiring you as a coach, right, to help them move forward, but they cannot move forward with all the burden they are carrying. And let me tell you, there is no shame in asking for help. There is no shame in asking for help, because like I said, you can do things on your own, but I find that there is always some limitation, because how can you yourself dive deep into your subconscious mind or figure out what's happening? You can maybe train yourself, help yourself, but this will take so much time. So much time. And the results may not be long-lasting or sustainable. But when you work with a professional, they really help you.
Yeah.
That is why it's called change work.
Yeah, totally agree with you on that one. I mean, I've gone to see counselors before when I, you know, needed the help, and yeah, they could sort me out in very short order. Whereas if, you know, prior to that, maybe I was ruminating about a problem or being very bothered about something for, you know, days or weeks or, you know, maybe years in some people's cases.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, you know, I'm hoping that whoever is out there listening today, you know, whether you work with Loubna or me or a counselor or somebody else, like if you feel like you need that help, you know, go seek it out. I think that's a great message.
Yeah.
So you shared with us some really amazing things, like, you know, what is NLP, what kind of people you help and how you help them. Do you have any practical tips that you can share with people out there in the interwebs?
Sure. Thank you. I would really advise you to start working immediately. Just do not waste time, because change or reinventing yourself is a process. It's a process. It really takes time and dedication, right? And believe me, it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it, because if you started your journey to reinvent yourself right now, right this minute, just imagine where you will be in 1 year's time.
Yeah.
Or who you will be in 1 year's time from now. Yeah. So yes, by all means, start doing the work, and also start paying attention to the people around you. People who are passing on their experiences and thoughts to you. Just try to recognize your own thoughts and feelings from those of others.
True.
Also, pay very good attention to those who are around you, because energy is infectious. Is this the right word?
Yeah, and
Right?
scientific studies have shown that. Absolutely. It's like, you
Yeah.
know, in the workplace, when you have one coworker who's very negative, who gossips, who's always complaining, like it brings down the whole team. And similarly in our personal life, right? When we're surrounding ourselves with kind of people with negative energy, it can bring you down. It takes that so much more effort for you to try and balance that out for yourself.
Yes, I could not agree more. And we business coaches would advise business owners to get rid of such employees. If you have someone who is grumpy, who is negative, you know, who is poisonous,
Yeah.
no matter how good they are at what they do, get rid of them, because they will bring the whole team down. Just like what they say, you know, a rotten apple can corrupt the entire basket of apples. And
Yes.
in your personal life, some people, okay, I know. Some people might say, okay, I don't have 5 people around me who are successful, who have positive vibes. What should I do? Go online. Go seek people like me and like Bernice, right, who are willing to help. We share so much online from our experiences, from the experiences of our clients, from things that we have learned and studied. So, like I follow coaches, I follow spiritual guides, and this is fascinating. This has helped me improve, and I know that because right now I go through certain situations in life, and this is life. I am a positive and happiness consultant, right? But this does not mean that I need to be happy and positive 24 hours. I cannot, because I'm a human being, and this is a
Yeah.
to life situations. I don't call them problems anymore. They are experiencing, they are happening because they want me to learn something or pay attention to something. And believe me, everything that is happening in real life is a message for you to reconnect with your, it's very spiritual. It's very spiritual experience. Now, this is how I look at stuff. Of course, there will be situations where I'm stressed, or things that will provoke me or make me angry, but I do not react the same way I used to react 2 years or 3 years from before. And this is a process, like I said.
Yeah.
Right? This
Yeah.
is a process. It never ends. It only gets better and better.
That's really interesting. I have a very similar experience from my practice. And like there's a few things that resonated with me. One is this practice of reframing what's happening in the world, like this to you. I mean, there's things just happen to all of us, and sometimes they're within our control, sometimes they're not within our control. But what can be within our control with practice, and I think that's what you're saying too, it comes with practice, is the ability to see that event from different perspectives and to react in a different way. Because, some people might have that automatic response of like panic or anxiety or sadness or anger or whatever it is. And it does take practice to say, okay, it's to step back from that and think, okay, how can I experience this differently? How can I make this experience, more palatable, more tolerable, or something that I can even celebrate or learn from? That's very powerful. I think those are 3 great tips. So one was start work on yourself now. Yeah, just start now. Could be anything. Could be just looking at things online. Could be getting the help of a professional, could be reading books, could be all sorts of things. Second tip, which was great, was just be mindful of who you are surrounding yourself with. I think ideally surrounding yourself with people who are positive and who lift you up and who support you. I think that's very positive. And the third was like a lot of things actually, which is how would you describe that third tip?
I really forgot.
I think the third tip was like, I mean, I think it's just look at your life, like your life experiences.
As if they are messengers.
Yes.
Whatever is happening to you, whether it's pain, it's a sickness, it's a deportation notice, it's a big bill that came out of nowhere, a bad relationship, a bad kid, right?
Yeah.
A bad friend. These are all messages inviting you to pay attention to something that is happening inside.
True. I love those 3 tips. Thank you so much for those. So I mean, we've talked a lot already, and it sounds like you are a fountain of information. There's so much more that people can learn from you. Do you have any events that are coming up that people can attend?
We are actually with a friend of mine. We are discussing an event maybe in Dubai in May. Things are not finalized yet. I'm going to share with that, of course, when this is finalized. And keep your eyes on my social media. Every now and then I announce an event, like before the holy month of Ramadan, I announced an event. Actually, it was a workshop in order for you to reprogram your body for weight loss. without depriving yourself. Just reconnect with your body. Okay, uncover the programming that is preventing you from turning the diet into a lifestyle, or why you resort to emotional eating every time, or why you get excited, you sign up in the gym, but then 2 months later you are not going, only paying. You're not going to the gym.
You're making the donation to the gym, right? So you said this event is in Dubai. Is it live and in person, or can people
most likely
join virtually?
Most likely it is going to be in person. But every now and then I announce programs that happen online. And I do encourage you so much to keep your eyes on my social media. These sessions are very powerful because we dig deep down. And of course, people are welcome to contact me if you would like, if they would like to have one-on-one sessions with me. I would love to help, but the question is, would you like to help yourself? That's the big question. Unfortunately, so many people are sitting, behind their desks, and they are saying, "Oh, I want to launch my own business." Or people are sitting in their couch with a big bowl of ice cream. I know this is stereotyping, but it's life. And I want to lose weight. Or like now in Ramadan, every night, when people are breaking the fast, they coming with huge belly pain from overeating. And I promised, starting tomorrow, I will not overeat when I break the fast. You can't. There are programmings there. Or, for example, you hire a dietitian, but you hate your dietitian. There is a very good reason why you hate your dietitian. Can I share that? You know why? People hate their trainer or they hate their dietitian. They cannot really keep to the programs or to the instructions. It's actually because they are being rebelliant to authority. When a child has been raised in a very authoritative family, right? And some fall into the victim mindset. Some become rebellions. So when they grow up and they go and they hire, on their own free will, and they hire a dietitian, but now the dietitian has control over them because they
Right.
decide what to eat, when to eat. So automatically this programming kicks in. So they rebel.
Right.
And you hear that in their language, right? You hear that in their language.
Sure.
My dietitian said I should not eat this, but heck with it, I'm going to do that no matter what he says.
Right. I don't want to do what you tell me to do. Right. It sounds like some powerful work, Loubna. Please tell our audience, and I'll make sure to leave it in the chat below or wherever on Instagram.
Thank you.
Tell us your Instagram handle, how they can find you on Facebook, or just how can they contact you to learn more.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Bernice. I really appreciate that. So, of course, they can contact me on my social media, Instagram at Loubna, Loubna _Ammer, Ammer, or they can look me up on Facebook, NLP for Happiness Consultant. So they can message me, and I have some videos on YouTube as well. My primary language is Arabic, but I provide sessions in both languages, English and Arabic as well. And I do have some videos that are translated as well into English. So I'm there. I'll be more than happy to hear from anybody. And of course, they can book a free call with me so that they can tell me what's going on in their reality right now, or maybe in their inner world. And then we can check whether we are a good fit to collaborate together, because this is not a work of one person.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's great.
It takes two, and let me assure you, this is 100% safe environment. It's judgment free, because like I said, transformational NLP has to do with the human experience. Mistakes are allowed. It's fine.
Right.
Nobody's going to judge you.
Great. So guys, well, don't worry if you didn't catch Loubna's handles and everything. I'll make sure that they are on the post and in the comments so that you can refer them for later. Thank you so much for being here and spending all of this time with us and sharing your knowledge and your experience. I'm hoping that it helps more people out there.
Thank you so much, Bernice, for having me. I had so much fun, and it was really my pleasure to be here with you. And also, I'm very excited, very, very excited, for our interview next week. And I'm curious to learn more about what you do. I'm very curious about what is neuroscience-based leadership in business. I'm very curious about that. And I would like to learn who can also use your services. So I would like to say thank you so much for everyone who has been here with us today on the live, or who is watching the recording. And yes, let's meet again next week. We will make sure to announce it in proper time.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, same here, believe me.
All right, thank you. Thanks everybody for coming today. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Bernice.